Welcome to the Open Mobile Summit. We're pleased to be joined by Gibu Thomas. He is a Senior Vice President of Mobile and Digital with Walmart. And Gibu, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's good to be here.
Please start by telling us a little bit about your role with Walmart.
So I lead Walmart's mobile and digital commerce initiatives globally for both stores and online.
All right. Well, you're here discussing how retail shopping is really being transformed for the first time in decades, in store anyway, through the use of apps. Tell us a little bit about Walmart's initiative as part of this growing trend.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the way you've shopped in a physical store, just in terms of how you find items, how you check out, how you make decisions, that planning process has not changed in many years. In my lifetime, really, it hasn't changed. Whereas online, there's been a lot of innovations using technology and data to give you a personalized, relevant experience that makes it easy for you to find the products you're looking for, even the products you're not looking for. So we were not able to bring those disruptions into the store because the customer didn't carry a laptop into the store.
Right.
But now, when customers walk into our stores with the internet in their pockets, we have the opportunity to transform that experience and create a personalized shopping assistant for them using their smartphones.
And certainly you're gathering data on them, maybe not necessarily as soon as they walk in the door, but as soon as they pull it out and they use the app, you have an idea of what they're looking for. And are you able to tap directly into custom shopping lists? Maybe they do one, or you generate suggestions to go along with what they input to the app?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we obviously, our customers register with us, so we know who they are. So we have a history of their past purchases, which allows us to create predictive shopping lists. So an automatically generated shopping list that the customer will never forget something that they ever need because we can help them remember. So yes, we're leveraging data. And then the other piece is the context is important. The location piece really tells us if a customer's at home on their couch or on the go versus they're in a store, and the problems they have in a store are different. So we're able to give them, the things you care about in a store is really where's the product, what aisle is it located in, is there something cheaper that's nearby, how do I make a decision?
Does it push coupons or discounts or things that maybe your partners would have for them for that purchase?
Yeah, so
particularly if it's not already on their list.
Right, so savings tools are a big area of focus for us, and obviously national manufacturer coupons is one piece of the puzzle. Walmart's, our business model is everyday low price, so we're not into sort of a lot of gimmicks and specific deals for you and all this kind of stuff. It's very much the same price for everybody. But budgeting and savings does not always have to be coupons. That's part of the puzzle. Sometimes it's just finding a substitute product that's cheaper, buying the generic brand instead of the national brand. And so getting customers that assistance to make that decision. So because from a customer standpoint, I have X amount of dollars and I need to make a decision on how I can feed my family in that X amount of dollars. We can help them do that and do the work for them instead of making the customer do the work themselves.
Have you been able to quantify that this is boosting sales, boosting revenue?
Absolutely. So, it's great when what's good for the customer is good for business. So we find that people who use our apps or engage with us make 2 more trips to Walmart. Actually, 2 more trips to Walmart every month and spend about 40% more per month. If you're a highly engaged app customer, so you come a lot more frequently to the app, then that number goes up. They make 4 more trips and spend about 70% more than someone who doesn't use the app. So really, we're seeing a lot of data where that convenience of helping the customer shop better with us, combining the convenience of online shopping and the immediacy of offline shopping seamlessly on a mobile device is really helping them shop more with us.
Is there a way also to quantify maybe people who were more infrequent visitors who have ramped it up now that they have this app and maybe they're not going to another competitor as frequently, or they're just combining their shopping, consolidating it to Walmart?
Yeah, absolutely. A great example that is like in the UK with Asda, we have this program called Asda Price Guarantee. So what the customer really cares about is, I want to save the most on my basket this visit to Walmart or Asda. And typically what a customer does is, some competitor may have something on circular that week, so they have to go through like 3 different stores to get that cheapest basket.
Right.
So what we guarantee them is come to Walmart, or Asda, and in the Asda price guarantee, after you finish your trip at Asda, you can take out your mobile phone and in real time find out how much you saved versus the competition. And if we're not 10% or cheaper, we'll refund you the difference right then and there. So the customer has the confidence that I can always go to Asda.
And how does that work? Is that back to a debit card? To their how did they?
It's
give you
basically a
cash
stored
in your
value
hand?
card. It's a stored value card
Okay.
that you can then use in the store.
It's a mobile card, or they give you a physical card.
So right now it's a physical voucher,
Okay.
but now we're making it into a mobile gift card, so which you can then redeem with your smartphone in the store. So really convenient. So the customer doesn't have to think about, do I have to go to multiple places? I can always go to Asda, and I know I'll find the cheapest price.
So is this Walmart's answer to showrooming, which has been a big headache for a lot of retailers in the past couple of years who weren't quite prepared for the apps that would allow you to scan the barcode and find something cheaper across town or maybe next door,
Yeah.
even more importantly, because they wouldn't have to drive all the way across town.
Yeah, it's interesting. Showrooming, is often has a negative connotation. We kind of look at it as a positive as well, because we find that almost 10% of our online sales through the apps come when a customer is in one of our physical stores, right? What that really tells us is that a store can only hold so much assortment. And so oftentimes, sometimes it may be price checking, but oftentimes it's just that they're not finding the thing they're looking for. I want the pink bike, the store only has the blue bike,
Right.
so now I have to go online. So by making that experience seamless for them, they are choosing to spend with us, right, across channels.
And so then maybe they'll take the bike on delivery, or
Right,
come
or
back in
they
2
can ship
days
it to the
and-
store,
Right.
we can ship it home. So they're showrooming with us effectively, right? So part of it is just making it easy for the customer so they can have the best of both worlds. It's not an either, I have the convenience of a physical store or the immediacy of a physical store and, or I have the convenience of an online store. It's really combining it. And mobile really is a medium to make it seamless.
Now, are you using marketing to boost this in-store mobile experience as well as online shopping as well?
Absolutely. So
How are you doing it?
yeah, so so there's obviously traditional mobile marketing techniques and search marketing techniques and things that we're using that are location based, lots of different things that we're trying. But what we're finding is, the biggest piece that we're finding is word of mouth. And people, like when people use that predictive shopping list or something else, they want to tell their friends about it because they're like, boy, you won't believe, how easy it is for me to shop it, or the Asda price guarantee. They tell their friends about it. So we're and partly it's just the strength of the Walmart brand as well. People are naturally looking for an app in the App Store that has Walmart's name on it or Asda's name on it. So there's definitely marketing component to it, but a lot of it is just word of mouth and organic, which we're really excited about. That means that people are loving the experiences we're creating.
So e-commerce has been one of the bigger disruptions that we've seen in terms of how people shop and buy things. What's the next big disruption you're seeing on the horizon?
Yeah, so I think e-commerce has obviously still got a long ways to go, and so we're investing aggressively. We're substantially improving our capabilities in terms of fulfillment, in terms of assortment, and so on and so forth. So that's a big piece. I think the future really is a channel-less world where the customer doesn't have to worry about is it online, is it offline. It's I can get what I want anytime, anywhere, and that is going to require. I think it's going to be a hybrid world, right? And we see that even there's some people who've started pure online players
Right.
that are trying to get to the middle and have some physical presence. And there are people like Walmart who have traditionally been physical retailers that are moving to the middle. Now, I would argue that it's a lot harder to build stores or physical locations,
Certainly more expensive.
more expensive than to build software. So we're pretty happy about where we can end up in that middle world.
But even Walmart can't be everywhere, so you're relying on shipping partners, I guess, to fill in the blanks where you don't have a physical location to get it to be everywhere whenever you want it.
Absolutely. We will complement. We have 10,000 stores across the world, so it gives us a lot of, that's a good place to be. But obviously, we complement that with additional partners in terms of pickup locations and so on.
What do you see as one of the bigger hurdles out there for making it more widespread and perhaps even more lucrative to the bottom line in terms of using mobile for shopping?
It's not an ROI question really. I think it's more of a customer value question. And so as we build things that are really compelling to the customer, because like I said, it's a behavioral change issue, right? I mean, you're used to your entire life going to a store, picking up a trolley, walking around the store, putting stuff in the cart and going to a cashier. To change that behavior, and just like that, that direction, if I want to go somewhere, I reach for my smartphone to find directions. That's become second nature to me in the last 5 years or 6 years. How do we make the smartphone assisted shopping that second nature and indispensable to the customer? So it's more of a customer evolution rather than, and that's going to be, they have control over that, and that's going to be very much what's the value we're delivering to them.
Right. So in terms of payment, as you ramp up more and more online purchases, payment's still sort of an open question for a lot of people. How do you see that? Is it a potential opportunity for Walmart, who's dipped its toes into banking, or is it going to be something that's left for partners?
Yeah, I think so. Our philosophy on payments is, we want it to be frictionless, and we want it to be the lowest net cost to the customer. And so, we have products like Bluebird in the US, which is pretty much, a bank account, except without the fees, right? You can have check writing, you can have automatic bill pay, you can have free ATM withdrawals. We have our money cards. We have lots of financial services products that are all about reducing the cost for the customer. So a mobile form factor for those products makes sense. Now, I don't necessarily think that customers are yet clamoring for, I want to pay with my phone in a store. They pay with their phone online because it's convenient to them. In a store, it's easy enough to pull out their credit card or pull out their cash still. And
particularly in the U.S.
Particularly in the U.S. and even internationally. I mean, I think you see a lot in sort of vending machines and or subway stations and so on and so forth, where it's convenient to use your phone. But in a retail environment, still people are not really using contactless payments the way we're seeing. And I think that's not because customers don't want to do it. It's just that the friction versus pulling out their credit card or whatever, their current behavior, the value has not been delivered to them yet. And so a lot of the focus for us is, can we figure out the value for them?
Right.
And if that value comes through whatever form factor, we're indifferent. We want it to be valuable.
Certainly some, as a famous coffee shop chain has proved, that there are a number of people who are adopting and moving towards that behavior.
Absolutely.
In terms of using it. And also thinking in terms of if you're doing online, if you're buying it online,
right,
to ship it to your house. If
absolutely.
It's not there.
And so that is happening in spades for us, right? In the UK, for instance, over 25% of our e-commerce sales happen on a smartphone. They're paying on the phone. And so this has happened over the last couple of years, really, that exponential growth. So it is happening, and to your famous coffee chain example, I think what is interesting about that is there is value to the customer. I know how much balance there is. I can automatically reload my card, right? So I can track my digital loyalty program.
Right.
So there's a lot of value versus that physical card that the customer had. So they're willing to adopt it. So that's the key, is can you find the value equation versus my current alternatives? And if you can, the adoption will come.
And is that something that's coming for you?
Well, we're looking at, we obviously, we play in all ends of the spectrum. We have a partnership called MCX, where we're looking at creating an alternative payment mechanism that's cheaper and more convenient for the customer. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of innovation to be had. And while payments is a sexy topic, and I like to say that if PR was a proxy for adoption, then we'd all be using mobile payments. I think there's time.
Well, Gibu Thomas with Walmart, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's been good to be here. Thank you.